tried to free your mind, Nia, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it. You have to let it all go, Nia. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind.
This is the Mind is Mine podcast. What it do, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Houston, back with another episode of the Mind is Mine podcast, episode 12. And I got a good friend of mine here, JB, also the owner of Greatness Shop. How you doing, bro?
Hey, man, I'm feeling good. How you doing?
I'm well, bro. I'm well. We just rekindled our relationship a month ago. I haven't seen you in a while, but as I can tell, you've been a little busy. As you can see here, Greatness brand, the first edition, version 1. This was back in like 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
And now we got a little bit of an update here. You can definitely see the growth and the progression of his brand and what it is now and what it's turned into. I just have to say raw off rip, I'm very happy. I'm very proud of you, bro, because I remember we were having conversations and just your ambition of what you wanted to create and just like the goals that you wanted to set for yourself and also for your brand. It's nice to see that you're actually fulfilling those goals and like you're taking it even further. Like you're actually going through fashion shows, like participating in multiple different fashion weeks. Like your Instagram is blowing up. You actually have models now. And these designs that you're making are completely unique. You know, on this one, yeah, it has the GTA logo, but it's still so dope to have because that's a dope font. But now that you have your own style, you have your own logo, how does that feel?
Yeah, I feel authentic, you know, I feel real. I feel this is my idea. I feel the GTA is good, but it has like a marketing tool that has created their own presence already. So I just want to drift away from there and create my own style, what I want to be known for. My own marketing brand that I want to be known for. So that's why I just came up with a new design, new logo, new aesthetic, new colorways, and I just stick with that.
Yeah, you have a lot of earth tone colors. Like, what made you think of that? And also, it's perfect that you picked the College Dropout and also this album as well, because the colors match. So we're having a nice little aesthetic here.
They both match. Yes.
Yeah.
I love. Yeah. One of the. That's a great question, by the way.
For sure.
One of the reasons why I decided to use earth tone colors is because I want to tell my story to the world and try to tell a story to the sense that no matter who you are, no matter the color of your skin, you can be great. Mm-hmm. It's just me coming up with a general color scheme that I feel everyone can relate with. So that's the earth tone colors because you can never go wrong with it. And I just feel I want to tell my story with that.
For sure.
That's how I came about that.
So before we get deeper into your brand and what you do, I do want to bring up your heritage and where you come from. So you from Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah, Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah, tell me about your journey from living there, growing up there, and then coming here.
Oh wow, that's great. That's a lovely story I always like to tell. Yeah. So I was born and brought up in Lagos, Nigeria, mainland. I was brought up from average family. We're not that, we didn't really have everything we wanted to have. So I tend to struggle a little bit from my childhood to when I graduated college. So basically, I would say I created my own talent for myself by, actually diving into art. Creating designs. I started off with just writing names on shirt, and people loved it. My friends loved it. They all want the name on the jerseys. They all want the name on the shirt. So I just, came up with that idea like, oh, look, I can actually be fashionable with this and do what I want to write on my own clothing. So that's how the love for fashion started, And basically, the inspiration also breed up from family, from parents, how they all dress up. My mom dressed it up to go to parties every Saturday, and me seeing how she arranged her accessories, putting on her clothing, wearing her headgear, looking beautiful, and I'm like, wow, that actually builds my art and fashion ideology together. And that's how I started that's how I started like my brand back home. I decided to just come up with names on my shirt, and my friends love it. And that's the spirit, that's the knowledge and inspiration and passion that I brought back here in US when I got here. So I went to college, went to college, and also got my degree, in arts. And I started after I graduated college. I went into working as a graphic designer, and that really kickstarted my arts career. When it comes to professional art, I started working for companies doing graphic designs for brands and things like that. And things were going fine for me after the whole struggle. Things were going fine for me towards my late mid 20s, and I found myself here in America. And I would say like the upbringing and the upbringing, the family background, and my own sense of art actually shaped me to be who I am today. When it comes to greatness, it has been something that has grew from childhood, from me actually just writing stuff on my shirt, writing names on my shirt, and people love it. And that's how that passion grew to where I am today.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. I would say, like, coming to America, what was your number one goal? And also, how has that changed at this point now? So, like, in terms of coming to America, knowing that you want to get into art, creativity, and fashion, what did the goal look like when you first moved here? And how has the goalpost changed now that you are more established and actually are getting some headway and some traction with your fashion brand?
That's a very good question. So basically, all my ideas, all my dreams and ambitions, moving here was like, I have to go to school, graduate, and go work for a company or something. Yeah. But that's like this main roadmap for every African that wants to like get here from Nigeria. Mm-hmm. So, but I I tend to follow that part. But at the end of the day, I still fulfill my own passion, fulfill my own goal by actually drifting into fashion. You get what I'm saying? I went to college. I graduated. I studied cybersecurity at St. Louis Community College. I did that for 3-4 years. I'll say 2-3 years. I graduated and also I just decided to like continue what I love to do, like my fashion thing. But before then, I've always wanted to be doing fashion and things like that. But the goal I had then wasn't as big as I see it right now. Mm-hmm. Back then, I never knew how much possibility is going to be, like how long it's going to take me to be able to achieve some certain things that I'm achieving right now. I see those things as a long term, but I was focused and I was like, I didn't even know how long it's going to take me, but I'm going to do it. So the goal has actually grown because while during my early years in America, I was able to like learn the culture, learn the language, learn the style, learn the people communication itself. Because the way we communicate in Africa is way different from the way you communicate here. For sure. So things like that, I had to like learn. I had to, immerse myself with all the American structure, culture, economic, everything basically, so that I'll be able to like balance myself on the right path. So I would say my goal has really, really grown so big. Like every day, I feel I still need to do more. No matter what I've achieved, I still need to do more. I still need to keep going for more. The goal is endless. Because there's endless possibility. We're in the land of possibilities. Things like that. And coming to America, I didn't really term the word American dream. I always, my mind, I always term it as my own dream.
Yeah.
Because I have the power to control my life, to control every decision I make, to create my own dream. No matter where the city I go, no matter where the country I go, the continent, it's still my own dream, not American dream. So that's why I always turn the word my own dream, not American dream.
Blessings for that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's something that we have a problem here in America, is because a lot of, at least the youth in certain ways, feel like the book is already being written for them, because you have this thing called the American dream, where you grow up in school and then go to college, and then sometimes 9 times out of 10, sometimes a lot of times, I don't know how many times I'm going to say times, but more times than not, let's just say that. People go into college not knowing the direction that they want to take. And also, I'm doing a project right now where it's talking about creativity in the world of capitalism and consumerism, and how that has kind of gotten in the way of creativity and allowing ourselves to express ourselves creatively, because we're so busy consuming rather than taking the step back and game planning. Okay, what can I bring into this world rather than taking from this world all the time? Right. So it's beautiful that you came from a completely different culture. You were able to bring that culture here to America and create your own way through that culture and how you were raised, and not allowing the American dream, the American way to get in the way of that.
Right.
But I do want to, before we go deeper into your experiences here in America, I've never been to Africa. I do have African heritage that I still am learning about, and I want to continue to learn about. So I want to talk more about your experiences over in Nigeria. Is there any experience from Nigeria alone that really changed who you are, or set the course for who you are and who you wanted to be? Was there like a standout moment or a standout experience that really pushed you to be who you are now?
Yeah, basically, that's a good question, but I'll give you like a background of how I grew up.
Yeah. So
because that's the only experience I can tell you about, like, the same question you asked me. So yeah, while I grew up from a normal family background where I have 2 sisters and we live in like 1-room apartment, and yeah, we kind of like struggle to get ourselves into school, my family kind of struggled to like get us into school, and and while growing up in that kind of like family, that kind of background, you tend to like don't want to do some shitty stuff in the although you have so many peer pressures, peer influence, around the street and things like that, but you have your own goal, because we used to go to church. I used to dance for the church. I used to bro. I used to.
You trying to bust a move right now?
Hell no. So yeah, I mean, kind of like Christian background. Yeah, so that has really pushed me to be sane, like to be positive minded, basically. And again, I would say like my parents also made it, like they did a lot of hard work, because they noticed my talents, and they took me to a art school for summer. So I was there for like 2-3 summers, and that really helped me too. So art school is like a street where we do like if you want to like do banners, you want to do birthday and you want to print a banner, like you want to print like a poster. Yeah. So we do that in a creative way where you have to create stencil, write, pen, and you use papers to print design on a plain poster. things like that. So we also do clothing too. So I went to so that really shaped me too, because I was able to learn. That experience shaped me because I was able to learn. And yeah, I would say when I feel like I have to support my family in what I'm doing, that really pushed me to, like, I know what my family go through, and that really pushed me to just stick with my goal and be, just be positive in everything I do. I would say, like, the struggle actually creates that passion to be disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's the whole story about it. That's my own experience. Because I remember after school, after college, there's so many friends that will lure back home, lure you into doing internet fraud and stuff like that, because that's like the main thing back home. And so I have some bunch of friends that go into all that, but they later regret it and back to their normal life. But I would say that has been one of, like, the biggest struggle back home, not to be tempted to go join the internet fraudsters and do because it's like a flashy lifestyle they put on your face, and you get tempted and be like, oh my God, I want to buy that car, I want to do that thing, things like that. But I was just so blessed and lucky to have a good parents that guide me in the godly way, which really don't really have it, which didn't really give me that opportunity to, backslide and do the, bad things.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, no matter where you go, there's always temptation. Not to say that I've never been tempted before. I definitely have. Even in the last couple of years with me growing more spiritually sound and more spiritually centered, I've been able to not only forgive, but learn from any mistakes or any temptations that have tried to lure me off my path in a way. So it's great that you brought that up. Especially it's the people that have very, very strong purposes and a strong sense of creativity, in which that temptation can really, really bug you in ways, because there's definitely a lot of people that will try to leech off you or try to guide you away from your path and join the path that they're on. Like you said before, when deep down in your heart that's not right, and deep down in your heart this creative path that you're taking, that's coupled with my spirituality and coupled with those morals, it won't allow me to go down that path,
right,
and be veered off the path that I'm on. So kudos to you for being somebody that's strong and taking discipline as an honorable approach to your life. Because that's something that we struggle with as a society today, is learning what discipline is. And I want to get more on discipline here soon. But what is, like, the main difference that you've seen in African culture, mostly specifically in Nigeria, compared to here in America? Because we touched on it a little bit, but I know it's a wild difference. And also, I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions too about African culture from here, even from African Americans themselves that live here in America. So to clear up any stigma or misconceptions, and also to give us the truth, because you've experienced it, how is it different over there than it is here? And where are, like, the more core values in Nigeria compared to in America?
Good question. Yeah. So in Nigeria, I would say Africa, basically, it's a very struggling continent. So a lot of our politicians don't care. They don't care about the people, and we tend to do things ourselves. We tend to give out, provide free water, free electricity. We just have to, like, try our best to survive, because our politicians don't care. So that kind of economical background, economical struggle, has actually built we Africans to be resilient, to be strong, to be disciplined, to be hardworking.
There's a lot of talent that comes from there too.
Yeah,
a lot of talent.
A lot of talent. I can't even count. So that struggle has actually built us to actually be creative, be talented, be I would say in any way in any career you want to do. There are so many people that find it so hard to do what they want to do, or they don't have like the financial support to actually achieve their goals. They tend to like struggle, and I would say the main difference from back home and here is the fact that the economical struggle back home has really is the main thing that's the problem, and also the solution, whereby people that are struggling, they tend to like be creative. But here I would say the economy is good, everything is good here. Even though people still complain, but at least things are provided easily here.
Yeah, we're A1 complainers here.
but back home, man, it's different. It's way different. It's the opposite. Like nobody cares. The politicians don't care. So we tend to do things ourselves, tend to provide for ourselves and things like that. So that independent spirit, that kind of like made us to be strong, to be hardworking and things like that. And also one of the values I would say is people back home are very respectful. I won't say they're not respectful here too, but it's a kind of like our culture has made us to be respectful naturally by default. Where we like the normal thing for an African man, an African boy to greet his parent or his dad in the morning is to prostrate, like to lay down and greet your dad. That's the regular culture.
It's to what?
Lay down and greet your dad.
Oh,
that's like that's the normal thing. Where I'm from, Yoruba land. In Lagos, Nigeria, the regular culture for a boy to greet his dad is to prostrate, lay down, and say good morning and things like that. So that's the difference. That's like the misconception they have against we back home, against Africans back home, but we are always like our default culture has taught us to be respectful, whereby everyone is always respectful, everyone is always humble. Of course there are some bad eggs, but most part of people that I grew up from where I'm from, we're all like, very respectful and things like that. So yeah. That's one of the values that that has even bring me to be like, that has make me stronger, that has carried me so far from where I'm from up to where I am now. I'm like very humble, respectful and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's a very strong thing, and also the always ever resilient spirit. So in me too, hardworking spirit.
I can attest to that. I got a couple of friends that are either from Nigeria or their family is from Nigeria, and the family unit is very, very strong. The family unit is very strong, which is an issue that we're having here in America. I recently had Dr. Julie Gary, who is a bureau chief in the Department of Public Health here in the city. And we spoke a lot about divorce and how families are getting picked apart here in America. So to see families, especially from your native land, come here and influence a strong family unit, especially for Black Americans, which has been under fire since the 70s. Yeah. And, the agenda to take Black fathers out of the home and not giving the Black youth any source of guidance at all, especially in the neighborhoods that they grow up in, is kind of is cruel. And for you guys to come here and even just being there and setting an example for what the family unit should be about, and the respect, the resilience, and the discipline, is very honorable. So I appreciate you and your culture for doing that.
Yeah, family is one thing that I cherish a lot. And if you always ask any Black man, they will tell you family is number one to them. And and yeah, I'm so grateful from the family I'm from. It's something I would never ever like disregard or dishonor. Family is number one to me, Yeah.
Here, just with the mic, just flatten it out a little bit because it's gonna pick up your voice a lot better.
Like this?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Because you were kind of speaking into the top, so I had to get used to it too. So I don't blame
I
you.
think this is better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Straight
way
to
better.
my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Also, this helps. It really helps with posture too. So if you have any like struggles with posture, this definitely helps straighten out the
Shit.
back there and
True.
look a lot more professional. You know.
I think I might need to get something like this.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love this setup. The setup has, me and my roommate went half on it. Very one of the best purchases and investments I've ever made because it stemmed. I'm on episode 12 of my podcast. I think he's close to 20. So like this investment is something that you should definitely get into.
This is great for real.
Yeah, man. And I mean, you can do so much with this set.
I'm just this. I'm a media guy. I don't like being on social media, but I like the media. Like I like the videos, pictures.
Yeah, communications and videography.
Yeah.
So like what would you say is your biggest passion in terms of media?
Photography and videography.
Okay.
And I also love music too, but I wouldn't say that's a passion. But yeah, photography, videography.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been doing a little bit of it lately. I've been tapping into videography. But
Yeah, I see you brought the GoPro
man.
here. I
Yeah,
do appreciate
it's
that.
always with me all the time. Oh yeah, I mean, I got like 2-3 cameras, so I always try to like get like this podcast is one of the like it's a very great thing I've always wanted to do. This is my first ever podcast.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
I don't know which button is the applause, but so I feel Nope. There it is.
This
there
is
it
my
is. It's
first
the yellow
ever
one.
official podcast ever. This is my first ever podcast, and I'm grateful. I'm glad, and it's an honor to be here, man. Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's blessings, bro. Of course, because when we reconnected, the first thing I thought about was giving you a platform. It wasn't about me; it was more about you.
Yeah.
Because I've seen, especially after you show me everything that you've been working on and the growth from the last time that I talked to you, because there was a good period of time, especially since I moved out here in the city, I didn't see you at your regular 9 to 5. So after all that time, and to see your growth and how well you've grown is insane. So I was just thinking, I was like, I have to get him on the podcast. I have to push his brand out there and just talk about the development from when we first talked about your brand, when you first introduced greatness to me where it is now.
When you first took my first ever photo.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'll never forget. That was my first ever Instagram photo for greatness.
Yeah.
When you sent me that photo, like.
You talking about when I was in the park?
Yeah. When you took the photo of you wearing my shirt.
Man, that was so long ago,
bro. That was the first ever like someone wearing my shirt.
Yeah.
It's a picture you ever sent to me, and I love it. So I was just like, oh my God, yeah, like my first ever.
I didn't know that. I had no clue.
Yeah,
I'm glad that I could be a part of this journey.
Yeah,
man.
you're number one fan, man. You've been like the number one member. You're
That's what I'm here for, man.
Yeah,
That's what I'm here for,
man. And when you told me about coming on your podcast, it was like, oh my God, this is gonna be a great opportunity to have my first ever podcast, to ever be talk on the podcast. I mean, grateful for the invite, man.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate
of course. So since this is your first podcast, was there any like topics that you wanted to talk about? A break from the questions that I have. This is your first podcast. Another round of applause, man. Another round of applause. But with this being your first podcast, like I said, is there anything any shout outs, anything that you want to talk about, anything that comes to mind? Feel free to, just to spit.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically about me sharing my story. Like we've been talking about, me talking about my story and how I can be able to inspire other youths, to be able to be disciplined, to understand the power of greatness, to understand the power of humility and respect. And basically that's one of the stories I've always wanted to share to the world. And that's how I came about the brand, and you can see right here it says made of greatness. We're all made of greatness, and I feel we just need to find the tone. We need to find the key to the greatness. We're all made of greatness. We all have that. We all have that greatness gene in us. We all have that spark, that green light in us to make us great in no matter what we do in life. And we just need to find it. We just need to create time for it and build on it, and also be spiritual about it. Like, guide yourself, be prayerful, be faithful, be humble, and things like that. So that's one of the things I've always wanted to share, and I'm glad you brought this up because it's now off my mind now. I'm like, oh yeah. It feels good. I'm sharing this story. It feels good me talking about this, and I always want to go back to this podcast, and I always feel that I've achieved something, that I've really, make a change, make an impact on people's life with these few words,
For sure. Hey, let it be a catalyst for many other great things to come into your life, because throughout the years of not being able to see you for a minute and now seeing like how well you've grown, and the progression is insane to me. So I know God has a plan for you for sure.
I appreciate it.
And that plan is part of what you created and how best you can be a vessel, because when it comes to creativity and bringing something to the world that has never been seen before, we're essentially being a vessel for God working through us to bring new ideas and bring new sense of art and inspiration out to the world to inspire others, especially the youth.
Right.
That's what I'm big on, is youth encouragement, youth inspiration, youth empowerment, and like your brand, youth greatness. So I do appreciate you doing that, and I can definitely understand where you're coming from in terms of wanting to create a brand with a message.
Right.
Anybody can make a clothing brand, but with the message and the meaning that you have and a purpose, that's what sets you apart from everybody else in terms of creativity, not just in fashion, but in any sorts of art. So once again, I appreciate what you do.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the progression that you have taken from here to here. Is unbelievable. So, but I want to get more into greatness. I do have a lot of questions, if you don't mind. But I want to get into greatness because I think it will segue into a different question I have later on down the line. What is greatness to you? And how do you represent that within your brand? And, I'll come back to the other part. But what is greatness and how is it represented best in your brand?
Oh, that's a very good question. And thanks for asking. So greatness is a mental and let me put it in another way.
Yeah.
So greatness is a free mind force that actually creates a new person in you. It's a free mind force, like it's a ideology, it's a mental force that comes within you to actually achieve what you ever want to achieve. And we all have that mental force. We all have that special thing in us, and it's me showing off my brand by actually creating unity in everyone and showing us that we have that great mentality in us, that great spirit in us, and we can all be great in no matter whatever we do. So I start off from my own story, drawing it back to my brand in terms of greatness, is the fact that telling my story in the sense that I came from Africa and I never had a plan coming here, and when I came here I achieved so many things, and it's me sharing my own greatness story, sharing my own upcoming story, my struggles and my come up story, to be able to show the world that yes, you can do it too, by inspiring them and showing good quality good quality materials, good quality prints, good quality designs.
Yeah, no, this
You
looks
know,
great.
and
Looks great.
and that builds the confidence in you. That builds the source in you to make you believe that yes, you have that greatness in you. You know, and that's one of the key reasons why I also created a new design that I just launched. It's called Greatness Legacy. We all should leave a legacy. No matter what we do, we should always leave a legacy of, oh yeah, have a great legacy that you can pass on to people. You know, it's not just about family legacy, but your own personal person, like you yourself. What would you say you bring to the world? What impact would you say you bring to the world? You know, and looking back to great Martin Luther King, he has a great legacy in America.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
see
in
you
black-
post him a lot.
in black culture, in black history. He has a very great, great legacy. You know, and that's one of the stories I'm trying to preach about. Legacy when it comes to showing what you have in in yourself. And also sharing it, it's like sharing that same knowledge, sharing that same ideology to people and bring it. Be a great impact to the community, to the society, and to the world. That's one of my inspirations behind that.
Man, that's so important to be a vessel for inspiration to work through you. I've been learning that in the past couple of years, especially this past year, has definitely shown me what it's like to nurture that creativity that can be given to other people, and what it's like to neglect that. I've been on both sides, and to neglect that is essentially neglecting a God-given gift. In a way, it's our purpose to create, and whatever that is, it's completely up to you. That's the beauty of free will.
Right.
But when you strive on that path for so long and walk that path, you feel determined to continue to do this. It's almost as if your sense of free will, I wouldn't say it was wiped away, but you kind of push it aside because you feel so determined for this one thing and to bring about this one thing because you have a purpose behind it. That's why your brand really is different from a lot of different clothing brands, because your approach isn't just to make money. Your approach isn't just to look cool. Your approach is to actually bring about greatness and show people what greatness is, and to influence people to find that greatness within themselves.
Yeah.
And again, I appreciate that. If anything, like looking at your brand and just your story alone is influencing greatness within myself. And this podcast is a product of it. Growing up, I really struggled with speaking and writing, and reading. So to take a leap with this podcast and actually engage with one of my weakest points, I felt like in my life, which was speaking, has definitely formulated and forged something great within me, like a talent that I never knew I had. And it just showed me it's in the places that you don't seek to look is where you can shine the brightest. It's within that darkness and excavating within that darkness and exploring that darkness in which you come out with gold. And I stand on that. And that's one of the biggest things that I hold very, very close to me in terms of my spiritual journey, because that is the main catalyst as to why I do what I do, is all for spiritual means, all to pave it forward, not only just in creative inspiration, but spiritual inspiration, mystical inspiration. And just to take a break from this real quick before we strive too far away from what I wanted to ask, you brought up that you were raised in the Christian household.
Yeah.
And a lot of the values that you hold close to you came from those spiritual values, came from that family unit. What would you say is the most important thing that spirituality, no matter how you grew up and no matter what you believe in, has brought to you?
I would say faith in God. So back home, I was always, I grew up in a family where we We go to church. We do prayers, morning devotions, things like that. It's like a regular family Christian, normal, regular Christian family background where you wake up in the morning together, do your normal morning devotion, or you all have to, sing praises and pray like 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And
it's a discipline.
Thank you. That discipline, that culture has actually shaped me to be prayerful, because whenever because we already have that mindset of waking up in the morning, first thing you do is to pray. So no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you always have that mental state in mind that, oh my God, I need to talk to God, I need to pray. So right from there, that actually builds my spirituality, because consciously, subconsciously, I keep praying whenever, even when I don't have struggles or I don't have anything to worry about, I just sing praises or things like that. And that's that culture, that's upbringing of being spiritual, and also having faith, having belief, having faith, and also discipline has actually shaped my spirituality growing up while I was a kid.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a little different from my journey, because recently I started my spiritual journey only less than 5 years ago, honestly. So to hear from your perspective, and you were being born into that culture, that way of living, is exciting to hear, and it's very inspirational, because I believe that we should teach our kids to do that as well. At least some form of discipline. Yeah. It doesn't have to start with spirituality. I know like spirituality is very near and dear to my heart. So I will definitely pass that along to my children and their children going forward. But at the end of the day, discipline, like you said, can make or break people. And there's a lot of people here in America that have yet to really find that. And also capitalism and consumerism doesn't really help propel discipline forward. If anything, it requires you to go outside of your discipline and drop discipline to continue to spend more money and give in to those addictions or those temptations like we brought up before. Yeah. And with any spiritual discipline, temptation is always present. Doesn't mean that you have to give in to it, doesn't mean you have to listen to it, but it will always be there. And the test of becoming more spiritually sound and centered and growing under God and allowing God to work through us is a testament to how strong you are and how disciplined you can be. But also, the road isn't always easy sometimes. So you spoke about the temptations in Nigeria with the internet scamming. What temptations do you feel here that have challenged you in terms of discipline and spiritual discipline? Because it's a whole different world here, like you said, and and with you, you work at a gas station too, which I don't know how you are with like sweets and everything. There's a lot of temptation when it comes to working in that environment too. So, what are some battles or some stories with how you were able to triumph through your discipline against the temptations here in America, not just in Lagos?
Yeah, that's a tough question.
I ask the tough questions around here. That's what really brings up a good conversation.
Right. Yeah.
And helps growth, of course.
And actually helped me to think. Yeah, so let me think. So yeah, I would say there are a lot of temptations. Of course, we live in a very fast society, yes. Internet, everything. There's so many temptations out there, with material things, with people, with the economy itself, So I would say right when I first came to America, I had to struggle with the culture, struggle with the way of living, way of life, and there were a couple temptations, of course, but bad companies. It can't, of course, because I was just coming from the whole continent. I don't even know anything about America, and so many temptations, bad company, all start from bad company, and I would say when I first came to America, I used to eat everything because
yeah, our sense of health and nutrition here is kind of skewed.
Yeah, because everything feels so good to me. Like back home is the struggle. You can't get so many nutritious stuff like that.
Yeah.
Except you have money. So yeah, coming here, I had to go hard on so many nutritious food, and I was so into everything, bro, and that really messed me up a little bit, and I regretted that. I won't say I regret it, but I learned from it. You know?
Of course.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Also, like friends who want to lure you to clubs, going to parties, getting drunk, taking drugs and all that. But yeah, I like I said, when I first came, everything was new to me. I wanted a taste of everything. I wanted to see how it feels, but I never get addicted to it. I just feel like I need to have an experience and learn from it, and that's it. I never get too addicted to things. Everything in my life that has really helped me or shaped me is I've never been addicted to any bad thing that has that I fell in temptation with. Even women, I would say. I know I fell into temptation with so many women, but
we've been there before. We've been there.
So
I am guilty. I'm guilty as charged as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, so we all learn from it, because I always tell people, I never regret my past. I always learn from it. I'm grateful I went through that journey. I'm grateful I went through that part for me to be able to learn, to be able to shape myself to be who I am today. And every great thing starts from a lesson.
Yeah. If anything, like you coming here, my bad if I interrupt you, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
If anything, like you moving from Nigeria to come here is kind of incredible too. Because like you said, you didn't really know much about America. So you could have easily been manipulated into a certain lifestyle that would have thrown you off your path and thrown you off what you truly want to achieve, and the reason why you actually came here, because the opportunity here is second to none, I will say.
Right.
But also with the high level of opportunity, also comes opportunities to really ruin your life too, as well.
Yeah,
to really
good and bad opportunities.
Yes, for sure. Like we have a whole spectrum of opportunities here, from the worst of the worst, the best of the best.
Yes,
and for you to navigate that and to see where you're at now, that takes a lot of strength. And like we said, discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline is a recurring attribute that continues to come up in this podcast.
Yeah.
Not only in this episode, but in all episodes. And what spirituality is, what creativity is, and what defeating temptation in general is discipline.
Yeah.
And that's something I feel that America really struggles with, is because we have so much temptation. We have so many things like trying to get our attention, like
distractions.
Buy this, get into this, be a part of this,
subscribe to this.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not a part of this, then you're this, or you're not hip, or you're not, it's a whole
lot of good and bad.
Yeah. It's damning to see, but at the same time, that I look at America as a battleground not a battleground, but a playground in which you can indulge in so many different things. And at the end of the day, like subconsciously, it's testing how disciplined can you be and how close do you hold your values to yourself. And are you willing to let go of those values for the lower spectrum things that don't offer good energy and offer good insight and propel you on the path of purpose? Or do you hold on to that discipline and ride along a path that is made for greatness.
Right.
So
Facts, man. It's a struggle to be able to navigate through those temptations. I would say I won't lie. There are so many of my friends that came here. Also, even the ones that have been here way before I got here. I see the difference. I see the growth in me. I see the growth difference. I would say, because I feel they all came from the same place I came from, but they get swayed by the lifestyle, swayed by the community, swayed by the life, flashy things and things like that. And they all miss their part. And but I'm grateful to be able to stay on my ground and be strong and actually fulfill my own dream, fulfill my own destiny. I always tell people, like, we all have the ability to become who we are.
yes,
We have that mindset, we have that magic wand that we can turn things around for ourselves. We just have to be disciplined and be able to understand how that can be possible.
we're all magicians here.
Yeah, exactly. We all got that magic wand.
Yeah,
And that's about it, man.
for sure. When you brought up, what was it that you brought up? I forgot. It just left me. So I'll come back to it.
Okay.
But to another question. So what awareness do you want to convey towards African and Black culture, especially through your brand, because it's Black owned? A lot of the models and a lot of the people that you have represent your brand are of Black culture as well. Whether it's Black culture here or Black culture back in Africa, back from source. What is it that you're trying to convey about the African Black experience? And how do you feel as an influencer towards the Black experience as well? Because our history. Our history has been filled with a lot of ups and downs, a lot of triumphs and a lot of failures, and a lot of lessons to come from those failures. Some lessons we've learned, some lessons we're still trying to learn today. So how do you use your brand to bring about awareness, not only of Black issues, but of Black greatness, and remind us of the greatness of Black heritage, especially coming from source?
Yeah. So basically, we Black people, we have been targeted. There's a stigma on every Black people, I would say, because America is a land where there's still, no matter how old America is, there's still discrimination. There's still things like that. And from my own perspective, the way I preach that unity culture, the way I preach that Black greatness, is the fact that I'm always trying to tie my story around all the Black civil folks, all the Black leaders like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. I always try to tie that to my brand and my designs to be able to tell my story with that, and also being able to bring some quotes from leaders. I try to post it online all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you always see it.
I see it.
I always try to post quotes.
That's what you like. That was like one of the biggest things I've seen when you first got into social media those years back, was constantly reminding us of great Black leaders and what they have contributed to Black heritage.
Correct. Exactly. That's how I always try to tell my story. I still do that today. I still, tell that story through my brand, be able to make sure I preach that success story, preach that greatness story through quotes from our Black leaders. And like you said, with the colorways too, as well. The colorways, it's like a mixture of every color race in the world, and it's like a unique color that everyone could relate with, and also coming from Nigeria, there's always a Black there's always I would say there's always there's a thing that they labeled we Nigerians for as scammers, like, oh yeah, there's scammers in Nigeria, things like that. There are a lot of scammers in Nigeria, things like that. But I tend to portray a very great scenario, in the sense that, okay, I'm from Nigeria, and there's a struggle for cybercrime from Nigeria, and I'm going to go to college and study cybersecurity.
Yeah.
To fight that stigma, to fight that I would say scar on our name.
Yes. I like that.
You know, and
releasing the stigma through your own legacy. I like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm actually going to fight this. I'm going to, like, you know, go to school, study cybersecurity, and, you know, get a job and try to, like, fight that struggle, fight that pain, and tell them that no, not everyone from Nigeria is a scammer, but I'm here to actually to help to tell my story through that by going into cybersecurity. You know, that's one of my I would say personal impacts that I can, you know, offer to the world, you know, to be able to tell the world and to be able to, you know, create a different narrative about Nigerians.
Yeah, and that kind of correlates with your brand too. You know, that brings extra protection of your baby and what you've created.
Exactly.
Because when there's something valuable on the table, there's always going to be leeches and vultures that are trying to get involved with that and try to steal from you. So if anything, you're thinking 10 steps ahead while changing the narrative of what it means to be Nigerian.
Yeah, I got my back covered already.
For sure.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's a great ideology, it's a great initiative that I just wanted to, you know, be able to, like, bring an impact to the world, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it, man. It's something that I love to talk about. You know, I like to share that story, part of me, that to be able to let them know, hey, look, not everybody from Nigeria, or not everybody from Africa is poor, or not everyone from Africa doesn't.
Yeah, y'all get a bad rep too.
Yeah,
like it's just like the famous joke, like there's kids in Africa that will enjoy this food or enjoy this water. It's like, now the more that I learn about my own heritage and actually learn about the source too as well. I don't know what type of African I am yet. I would love to figure that out. I've had conversations with a coworker of mine who recently just got his ancestry and figured out he was from the Republic of Congo, and I forgot where else too. But he had no clue, and he was just super excited to see that. Like, he was like 30-something% Congo. Well, yeah, he had no clue. So I am wanting to get in on that train too, and like realize who I am, because that helps with my spiritual journey, is knowing my roots and knowing where I've come from. And with me being mixed too, like the only side that I know about in terms of like ancestry is my white family and my white heritage. But I need to understand my black heritage as well, because when it comes to becoming spiritually centered, you have to become whole again. And if there's any information that's left out on you in terms of who you are now and how you're feeling now and things that you've been through along with your ancestry and what got you to this point and who brought you to this point, and bringing that respect and that honor to the people that came before you, I'm not completely illuminated about that. So I would like to bring more light on that and shed more light on that and figure out where I'm actually from, outside and then one half of myself. So one question I do have, because people like me, I want to go to Africa. I want to explore the ins and outs of it. Like I want to travel the world, but travel Africa is one of the main spots, if not the first place that I will go, because to connect with that culture, and every country there has its own culture as well. So what would you say to respect the peace and to respect the discipline that not only Nigerians hold, but I'm sure that any other country in Africa holds as well? What would you tell citizens of the United States, especially African Americans, when they're visiting Africa, and the do's and don'ts?
Great question. Basically, so I'll answer this in two parts.
For sure. Take your time.
So, firstly, going back to Africa, do you want to like go back to know where you're from and go there and go visit, or just anywhere in Africa?
Both.
Okay, good.
First is to figure out who I am.
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant on like the DNA test stuff and everything, so I gotta get over that hump. But when I figure out, then I have to go. I just have to.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah, because Kendrick Lamar, which one of my favorite, and I brought him up so many times on this podcast.
Ghana.
Yeah, he talks about the importance of just going back and visiting. On the Pimp a Butterfly, he on the song Mama, I think that's track 9. I could be wrong. No. Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't know off the top of my head. But Mama, he talks about not only coming back home to Compton with more respect, but going back home to Ghana, back to Africa, and having profound respect and a profound understanding of who he is. Because there was a song earlier on the album, which is track 3. Track 4. I know this for a fact this time. He talks about being institutionalized from Compton and not really being able to see past the lessons and the values that he learned from Compton to be able to connect with the rest of the world. And it was just talking about his struggle and also what he's seen in his family and in his friends as well. And it's so dope to see that journey with him being institutionalized in Compton. For me, it would be St. Louis, and actually getting outside of Compton, seeing the world, and actually going back home to where your heritage and your ancestors are from, and having a lot more insight. So that's why I would say, like, is my main goal first is to figure out where I'm from and then go there so I can work towards spiritual and psychic wholeness and understand who I am and give the respect to my ancestors on both sides of the family tree rather than just one. And then after that, go and explore the rest of Africa and then, the rest of the world that follows.
That's a very good thing, man. I'm really glad. I'm excited for you saying this. And I would say, so what I would advise is there's no do's and don'ts, but I would say just try to have a local go around with you, like have a local person that lives in that town or city or anywhere you are, go around with you, someone you can trust, even not trust, but just find a local person that can take you around town and will tell you more about the city and do's and don'ts, because we from Africa, we're different from, we have same culture, but some cities and some countries are different. We have different cultures
for sure.
But just even if when it comes to eating the local food and things like that, find the local, like find someone that can help you navigate the city, things like that.
Ooh, speaking of that, sorry to interrupt. Yeah. This weekend we have Festival of Nations here over in Tower Grove Park. Have you heard about that?
I heard about it, and I don't know about it.
Man, a huge conglomerate of different cultures will be there, just serving up their food, giving us kind of a little teaser into their own culture.
Oh, yeah.
They'll set up a bunch of shops. I feel like that would be great for you to set up, if you still have the time to do so. But at the very least, get some footage. I know I'll be up there.
Oh, really?
I'll be up there Saturday afternoon, and then I'm free all day Sunday. I'll be up there. So if you wanted to link up or wanted to do something, and
what time did it start?
I don't know. I'll look it up. Look it up.
I can make the Sunday one.
Yeah, for sure. Sunday would probably be best because I'm free all day. But yeah, just let me know. Sorry for interrupting.
No,
it just connected. I was like, hey, this connects with what we're talking about. So that would be dope.
I know about it, but I have never attended. I don't know about the events, but
I went last year. Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Like great music, amazing food, different shops too from different cultures, and just like it was just like, if you don't have the ability to travel, the spots that you would travel to and places from around the world and cultures and heritages all around the world come to Tower Grove just to, I wouldn't say promote, but to share their culture. And they're so happy about it. Like they're so like, it just feels like they're back home, or that they're just, it's like home in their ancestry, and their culture is working through them to communicate with people and to educate them as well. It's so dope. It's such it's such a dope environment.
Festival of Nations.
Festival of Nations here at Tower Grove, Saturday and Sunday. I can look up the times, but I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah. Of course, I can make this Sunday. Thanks for bringing that up.
For sure.
Like I said, I heard about it, but I really don't know what it is about. So thank you for bringing that up. And,
for sure,
I'll definitely make the Sunday one. But on Sunday, I just wanted to know the time. Because
10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday, and then 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Good
on Sunday.
Good, because I'll be having Sunday. I can make the Sunday one.
Yeah, I'll text
I wanted
you.
to make a quick announcement. Can we put in this?
Yeah.
So
quick announcement, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, quick announcement. Yeah, so Greatness Shop is going to be participating in St. Louis Black Fashion Week.
Okay, when is that?
2nd of November, 2024.
Let's go.
And I wanted to announce that on this show, and to let everyone know, Greatness is going to be at St. Louis Black Fashion Week in November.
Man, let's get it, y'all. Yes, sir. One more time for the man.
Thank you.
If you need models, let me know. I've been wanting the model for a while.
Talking of models.
I've been wanting the model for a minute.
Talking of models, I'm glad you brought that up. So we're having our model casting on Sunday. This Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yes.
Let me know what time.
12 to 2.
Yeah, let me know what time. I'm in there.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So this Sunday, 25th of August 2024, we're having our model casting for St. Louis Black Fashion Week. And I'm excited to be part of this year's St. Louis Black Fashion Week. It's been going on for 10 years now, and this is like the 10th year anniversary. And I'm
November 2nd, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to put that in my calendar. That is a Saturday.
Saturday, girl.
Yes.
Yeah, St. Louis Black Fashion Week, and it's a great event. I saw clips of it for last year. I wasn't there, but I heard about it because I registered for their newsletter and stuff like that. So it's a great initiative. It's support. I think it's owned by private person, like private group, fashion private groups in here in St. Louis, and they've been doing it for a while now, and it's a great opportunity for me to showcase my new designs that's going to be coming exclusive on that day, and share more story about my brand, preach the story, preach the greatness to the world by in a larger audience here in St. Louis. And it's going to be a great honor for me because I've been to several fashion weeks, New York Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week.
Yeah, New York Fashion Week is a big step.
Yeah.
That's a big step right there. That besides Paris is the Mecca for fashion.
Of course.
Yeah.
New York is the home of fashion here in the whole of America, I would say. And gathering those experience, I really want to show that here in St. Louis, being able to show the world, show everyone here what I'm, as a local brand from St. Louis, being represented St. Louis all over the city, all over America, in different cities. I also want to bring that experience here too, and show them what I have.
Bring back what again?
Like my experience when it comes to fashion.
Got you.
I've been to LA, I've been to New York so far when it comes to New York Fashion Week, and I wanted to bring that experience here by showcasing my great designs, and
Man, that's dope. That's dope. Thank you for letting me know that, man.
Yeah, man.
I'll definitely be at the model casting on Sunday.
Yeah,
I'm glad. I was supposed to work on Sunday, but things fell through, and it fell through for that reason.
Yeah, man. I'm going to send you the invites. I can also send you the registration for you. You can just register and stuff like that. But
that's dope. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, you're welcome. I'm glad you'll be able to be, be able to be part of my models, because you've always been my model number one from the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great. Trust me. You meet other models too, but I'll be excited to have you around as my own, my friend, as my model.
For sure. I'm down for that, man. I've been wanting to do modeling for a minute, but only for brands that have purpose and I'm passionate about, and yours is definitely on that list for sure.
I appreciate, man.
For sure.
I really do. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
Of course. I wanted to bring it back to what we were talking about. I did interrupt it when we were talking about me going back to my heritage whenever I figured that out. You said find somebody that you can trust to show you around, and then that was kind of the last thing. Yeah,
basically. And again, when it comes to like accommodation, getting yourself around, you can also like do your little research. Like, I can even send you places. If you want to go to Nigeria, like, I would even love to go with you.
I would love to. For sure. How much is a ticket usually?
Bro, I'm planning to go for one in April next year. It's about 1,500.
Okay, it's not too bad. It's not terrible.
Yeah, and that's in April next year.
Mm-hmm.
And
what's the currency like over there?
Oh, bro, $1 is it's a lot over there, bro. You'll be good, trust me.
Okay.
Yeah.
By that time, I'll be in a good, very, very good position financially for sure.
By God's grace. Yeah. And then I have a plan of going back home to actually give back. I wanted to just do it, just to go back home. I haven't been back home in 6 years. I want to go next year in April. I'll be turning 30 next year.
Hey.
Yeah, man. And I wanted to go back home and give to the less privileged. I wanted to share my own blessings, what I've become here in America. I want to be able to give back home, to share the same blessings, share the same greatness to them, And that's one of my greatest plans. Just like I always tell you, being, creating an impact, creating a positive impact in the society. So that's my own little way that I want to do when I go back home. I want to be able to give back, share things around people, kids going back to school, help take care of their schools and stuff like that. That's one thing I've always, wanted to do, be able to give back. And by God's grace, I pray, when at least that's the plan. That's the plan. April next year, and I have to like start saving up and keeping things in order for my trip and things like that. I pray by God's grace, God see me through to be able to achieve this.
Yes, sir. And I see it too. Namaste. I see the God in you, and I see that purpose, and also what you want to bring to the youth, let alone the rest of the world. And I'm all on board for that. That was the reason why I brought you on this podcast, because I've seen that, and if anything, Life Vision has just grown exceptionally from the last time that I saw you. So that's a blessing in itself, and I appreciate you doing that. And especially when it comes to the youth, like here lately in the last year or so, I've been deeply involved with the youth in terms of creativity, empowerment, and just being a word of God, being a man of guidance, and offering advice the best way I can, however I can, and also just helping build that community up, because that's super important. I felt, growing up, my only sense of, I wouldn't say community, but the only way I felt like I could create and be creative in my youth was through sports, which, I can look back on and like have this shame and regret of not being able to, do art or anything like that and actually participate in that, because that was something that I still desired to do. I just didn't know how to do it. But being able to do that again now, I saw that the time wasn't working. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I think I messed it up.
It's okay.
Switch screens, that's what I forgot. But it's about.
I'm gonna let you figure that out real quick. Yeah.
Let's keep going. Don't worry.
No, all good. where was I? Youth empowerment. Yes. So yeah, I do appreciate that. Because I've been on my own journey of terms of youth empowerment, and also just being around the youth just reinvigorates this want to create, this want to be out in the world and like show my talents. So it was so dope to be able to rekindle with my inner child again through different people in the youth, and it was just so exhilarating in a way, and it just pushes me to want to get into fashion for this brand. To see this logo on a hat, or to see this logo on a shirt or pants or whatever it may be, would just be so dope. It's not the end goal, of course, but it would be so dope to do that. Because I've seen, because you are a testament of that. Like I've seen, this is day one and this is now, and like the amount of growth that has went through. I think one of the biggest lessons that I'm having right now is to be creative takes diligence, discipline, and most importantly, patience as well. True. Because that's something that we can't really control. We control our input and how much we put into it, but being a vessel and what ideas flow through us, that's up to God. Yeah. It's just up to us to take that next step to bring that creation, to bring that idea onto the forefront of the world. And again, you're doing that. You can attest to that, and I appreciate that. That's inspiring to me. Yeah, because I'm so excited to put that eye with the eye on the hat. Like that's gonna be incredible. Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah, man. I'm glad. Like I've always like anything I do, I always try to inspire people to be able to like, you know, create a great impact in people's life. You know, that's one of like a main, like that's my daily goal. That's my way of making the world a better place. You know, that's the best I can in everything I can do. I mean, apart from that, I mean, my story itself, you know, I always try to tie my story around everything just to be able to like connect that dots, connect that, you know, mentality, and feel like I feel a real life experience, a real life example, you know, telling a story of a real life example passes more impact, or passes more sticks to people's mind. People can relate to when you tell your story of, you know, when you tell your story. You've been telling me about your spiritual journey, and I also like can relate to that because at one point in my life, I also, you know, have that time where I started my spiritual journey, you know, so everyone can relate with everyone's story, you know, and that brings a strong hold in our heart. Being able to relate with your story, you know, that's big.
Yes. I did not write this question down. This question came up to me, and we were talking about temptation. We are also talking about discipline, and we spoke a little bit on hardship. And you are no stranger to the discrimination that has happened, that is continuing to happen here in America. Are there any experiences that you had directly with being discriminated here in America when you came here?
Yeah. So there's, I would say people are different, you know. Yes. There's some people that you know, are brought up to be harsh, to be hard on people, to be, you know, discriminating and things like that. I've experienced a few, but I won't say I paid attention to it. I just let it slide. I just feel like that's their own life. I didn't really take it up on myself and say, oh, there's so many examples from where I work from. You already know where I work, 7-Eleven. Yeah. So many different personalities can come through there. Oh my God. Yeah. I've experienced the worst of the worst. I've experienced a lot. I've actually interacted with so many different people in this world. Yeah. For real. You know, and yeah, I've experienced a lot when it comes to discrimination, you know, but the job I do actually helps me to be disciplined because I'm a customer care. I'm clerk. I work at 7-Eleven. I work at the gas station. I interact with people. I have to make customer feel welcome all the time. Yeah. So My
Which
nature,
you do. You do a good job at that. Because those skills can translate to what you're building.
That's actually how we met. You remember?
Yeah. And that's your uncle that owns it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to him. What's his name again?
Bola Oshikoya. That's
man. He always asks how I'm doing, how my family's doing.
Oh, bro,
man, he's always one of the most kind and generous people I encounter every time I come into that area. So I love it.
That's my MVP, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. He played a huge part in my life where I am today. He's like one of the strongest backbone, where that makes me who I am today.
Man, he's always in just like high energy, always happy, it seems like, but he's a hard worker too.
Yes,
like I've seen him grind.
I learned that from him too. Yeah, man. So back to discrimination. So my nature of job that time has made me create that sense of happy mood where I don't have to react to anything. I just keep a smiling face and make everyone happy. Not make everyone happy, but just live a life of less worries, and things like that. And I said earlier, I face a lot of discriminations from customers, from friends, even from people that, even from people in the corporate places where I, work at, things like that. But I don't really pay attention to it because I've always have this mindset of we are all different, and it's not everyone that think the same. It's not everyone that, feel the same. And just accept everyone for what they are, and hope and pray they learn to be a better person.
Yeah,
that's the best I can do. And,
for sure.
And yeah, man, I don't force back. I don't push back. I don't fight back. And I just let it sink, let it grow, let it go, and like feel, okay, cool, yeah, thank you.
9 times out of 10, people that are on that type of wave are looking for a reply. They're looking for friction, because that's how they get up in the morning. Like that's how they get off. It's like they want unnecessary friction, and they're willing to bring that to you. They're willing to bring these bad vibes to somebody just for their own amusement, and that's something I can't entertain, regardless if it's discrimination, whether if you think you're just funny or you're just going through something and you're projecting that on me. Like I won't judge you. I won't stand for that energy being in my circle. Like I'll let you know that, but at the same time, I'm not going to judge you, because one thing I've learned is that there's so much going on in people's journey that we just have no clue what's going on, and they project that in their own actions. If they project anger at me, then 9 times out of 10, like some of that anger isn't always just solely directed towards me. Some of that can be compiled of so many different experiences and situations that they've been through, to the point where they never released it in the proper way. They never got therapy. They never talked about it. They always just pushed it away. And I tell people all the time, it's like the more that you push the stuff that you have to like
let go,
let go, release, or just talk about, the more that you push it away, the more it stacks up, and the more that you're bound to bust and just implode. And that can lead to some of the worst circumstances, whether if it's suicide or taking somebody else's life, or just doing something so detrimental to your life or somebody else's life, to the point where it's like, I won't say unforgiving, but has harsh and dire consequences that can, has longevity to it and can affect you in the long term.
Yeah, man. We're all shaped by our experiences, our mental thoughts, and that has been what fuels us, what brings the outside in us, like what brings the real character in us. So we're all shaped by our past experiences, or our experiences in general. That makes us to say the things we say or do the things we do. Yeah, basically. So that's how I see life. That's how I see everyone. I don't judge. I just see it as everyone's own life story.
For sure.
That's your own life story. I have my own life story, and my own life story won't make me react the way I am right now, or think about the way I think right now, or say what I'm saying right now, because I've learned to grow from it and shape me to become a better person. But some people get get lost when they experience a bad thing in their life.
And let that overtake you.
I know of a person that when his mom died, he became an alcoholic, and that got over him, and he couldn't even control it. So like I always say, man, we're all shaped by our experiences, and don't let your experiences create bad energy in you. Just and again, like you always say, if you have things in your mind, always say it out. Don't push back. Always say it out, so that frees your mind from any bad thoughts.
Yes, for sure. And that kind of brings me to another question. So we were focusing on the more personal aspect and skin color, culture and heritage, and the discrimination that you can go through that, and any hardship that you went through that, especially being from a native land and coming here. Now I want to talk about a different type of struggle, which every business owner, especially a Black-owned business owner, goes through. And what has been the ultimate struggle for you as a Black business owner here in America?
Yeah.
And then you can talk about your biggest success after that as well, too, to lighten the tone.
Yeah, that complements both each other. Yeah. Basically, the struggle as, okay, I'll be speaking this from my own experience because that's the best I can explain this.
Yeah.
And coming from Nigeria to America, I said this earlier, I had to learn the culture, learn a lot of things. The transition was like a roller coaster for me. I would say I tried my best to learn as much as I can, and coming up with my own brand or my own story, it was hard to be able to tell my story at that time, because I still don't know. I'm still getting along. I'm still, getting up to speed when it comes to America, living in America.
Yeah.
And I went through a lot of struggles financially. I went through a lot of hit and miss. I went through a lot of I'll call those learning phase. I
remember we had one of those learning phases too. I tried to get you on to a certain program that I was a part of back in the day.
Yes,
I'm not a part of it anymore. I haven't been a part of it for a while. But
is it William or
it was Amway. It was Amway.
No, the name of the dude.
Lucas and Masson, or the person that I was with.
The person you were with. Is it Matthew? Bellman. Yeah. Those are learning phase too. You remember?
Yeah, it was a learning phase for me too. So I completely understand where you're coming from. That definitely showed me do's and don'ts, and how to's and how not to's as well.
Yeah, I'm
not a part of it anymore. That wasn't the path made for me. It did give me a better insight and bring a bigger drive to me in terms of like becoming a business owner, but that also showed me that, okay, I don't want to ride the coattails of somebody else. I want to like focus on my creativity, focus on what I want to bring about in this world first before I do anything else, because that is like the engine. And you kind of got the same just too, and we were still learning at that time. And to know that we declined it, and still found our own way is a blessing. Yeah,
man, it's a blessing that I've always it's something that I always cross my mind all the time. Like, I know at that time we're just new as friends, and we're all trying to get the best get the best out of each other. I want the best for you, you want the best for me. We can all be great, things like that. But it's just a learning phase, like you said earlier, and like I said, I have my own too. I have my own learning phase where I had to learn a couple of things. Even in fashion, I had to learn the right material to use, right design to put on shirt, the right quality of clothing, this type of print I want. I I had to learn all those things to even my website. I had like 3 websites, man. Keep upgrading it. So yeah, it's a learning phase. I'm still learning though. I'm still learning, and
we all are.
Yeah, life is like a school, man.
Yeah, for sure. Earth is a school. I tell people that a lot of time.
Yeah,
the experiences that we go through are all learning experience. Take what you need and then leave what you don't.
Trust me. Exactly. That's how it is, man. And yeah, I'm glad I went through all those learning phases, because that has been my that has shaped me. That has been my my guide. That has helped me a lot. So yeah, I went through a lot of ups and downs. Doing coming up with the brand, and even in my personal life, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've done a lot of things I shouldn't have done, bad things in the past. And I reflect back in them and just realize those are just my learning phase. I shouldn't be regret my past. I should learn from it,
For sure.
Things like that. Yeah.
That's one thing recently I've been learning too as well, is not to hold regret or shame in my heart, because that will take up the space for love and consistency and forgiveness and discipline. So I clear out anything that's toxic, that's a cancer towards my well-being, towards my mindset and my state of being, and replace that with things that propel me forward rather than keep me back. Because regret and shame will always continue to remind you of the past and the pain that you went through and the wrong decisions or anything negative that you went through in the past, rather than discipline and love and forgiveness avoids those issues from happening again. You learn your lesson and you start a new day with new lessons. Even if you fail again, you get right back up and you continue on that path of consistency and discipline and love what you do and forgive yourself for any wrong that you've done and leave that in the past.
Yeah, man. For real, I believe like sometimes you just have to reflect back in the past and think about how you could have made a better decision. But at that moment, you just have to be grateful that you still can think about this and reflect, and like you fast forwarding to see what the future is like. Well, you already know you could have made a better decision in the past, but at the end of the day, you are grateful for where you are right now.
Yes.
That has been, I've been able to like create a sense of more sense of being grateful than regretful.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I appreciate you with your testimony on that. Thank you. Before we continue on the brand, any lessons, I do want to take a break and acknowledge our music choices.
Yeah.
So y'all know what time it is. We always do this every episode. I'm a big music guy, big music fan. JB is a big music fan as well. I learned.
Big.
And also the album that you picked, I brought this up, matches the color scheme of your brand, and it kind of just stays true to what you're building. So I want to start with you. You brought out a classic album, the solo debut album of Mr. Kanye West, Mr. Controversy himself, but he is a attestant. He can attest to the word greatness because of what he's done for music and how he's changed music since he's came in as a producer and now a rapper, and then producer rapper combo, and just everything that he's done. Yeah, and regardless of what you feel about his music today, he still has the potential to put out good records. Yeah, it's just stuff in his personal life kind of has hindered that. Yeah, it happens. I get it. I'm not here to talk down on anybody, but what was the reason for you picking that album specifically? Because I have a couple other Kanye albums. Yeah.
One thing I would say is I feel like Kanye.
Yeah. Also, that correlates with a question I had. And who has inspired you? And Kanye not only is big into music, but he's huge into fashion. Like he like his vision fashion wise was his shoes were the only shoes to compete with the biggest shoes in the world, which was Jordan. Yep. He was the one that made that brand compete with the likes of Jordan and what Nike was
Nike,
offering
yeah.
after Nike, screwed them.
And Adidas screwed him too.
Yeah. Adidas did too. Yeah, that was, I don't,
Later on.
even though regardless of what he's done, still that's not right. Like, we have to be honest.
Yeah,
here.
for
That's
real.
not okay.
Of course. I don't support his bad phase. I just love his music.
For sure.
I love his part of his character, part of his personality. Like he has this personality that I like, and basically I chose this album because number one, I never really thought about the same color for real. It was the record
I just picked that up.
It was the one record in the album that I love so much, Through the Wire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I watched a documentary about Kanye.
The Genius.
Yeah, on Netflix.
Man, great.
And I love the episode that told the story of how he recorded that song Through the Wire. He had wires in him while recording the song, and that really tells a lot of passion, a lot of discipline, a lot of resilience in him to always try to speak his mind, even when his mouth is hard.
For sure. Man, bro, incredible song, incredible album.
Yeah,
it's it's top 3 for sure. I'm more of a late registration guy, but man,
I love other songs on the album too, but that one just stuck to me, and I always try to you relate that to my own story, you know, about the fact that I was back home with nothing, and I came here to actually still make the dream, come alive.
For sure.
So yeah, that song is specifically just speak to me, being able to. I think he had an accident,
Yeah, he had a car accident and he broke his jaw.
Yeah, sure,
and one doesn't make it out of that alive all the time.
Bro, it's a deadly accident.
Yeah, the fact that he lived, and this was at the start of his career. He wasn't albums in. The only albums he had was producer albums.
Being a producer.
Yeah, what he's done with Jay-Z.
First own singing record.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That really took strong to me. One of his first ever songs, one of his first ever record. And there's one record he had with Slow Jams.
Yeah, Slow Jams is a classic.
Jams. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why. There are other albums I could have picked, but I just chose this because that song relates to me a lot, and
I hear
other
you.
songs that I love on the album too.
Yeah, you're very inspirational based.
Yeah,
and that definitely is an inspiring song because he could have and should have maybe died in that incident, and he came out living, and he still dropped this album, and that album was the start to a legacy, like you said. What was the new
Greatness Legacy?
So if anything, that's kind of attesting to your new what would you call
collections?
Collection. That will attest to the new collection. So you never know when you drop that new collection, the song that may be playing is Through the Wire.
Yeah, that might be the walking song.
That would be dope.
Yeah, man.
But to anybody that's listening to The College Dropout, one of my favorite albums, 2 Words is the most underrated song on that album. Him, Mos Def.
Yeah, 2 Words. Phenomenal. I love that song so much. Man,
the production is insane.
That's one of my top 3. Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, I had to go with Earth, Wind, and Fire. This is actually newest to my collection. Okay. I got this on Saturday.
Who's this?
Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Yeah.
Man, you gotta get hip. That's classic soul music. They're also, you can tell that they're very spiritually centered, because here on the back of the album they have so many different is it on here or do I open it up? Yes, they have so many different logos, and they have the Buddha, they have the Ankh, they have the Merkaba, they have Horus, the cross. They have so much going on. I think that's Shiva, I believe, but they're so.
What's the second one?
This?
Yeah.
That is the staff of Osiris. It has also the symbol for the medical system. But they stole that. They stole that. Let's make it clear. They stole this. I know the camera won't be able to pick it up, but man, it starts with a C. Callidius or Cut. Whoa, that's no, it's not that. Cat. I don't know. I have no clue. But it starts with C. It's the medical symbol, but it also is mostly representative of the staff of not only Horus but Hermes Trismegistus. Caduceus.
That's the
yes.
name.
There we go.
Caduceus.
Yes. Hermes Trismegistus, who is one of the big founders of Hermeticism. Definitely recommend the Kabbalion. Great book. Sorry, had to get off track of the music, but I had to recommend that. But yeah, no, they're very spiritually centered, classic soul music. This came out 77. Fantastic.
You got great collections, man.
Yeah, man.
Trust me. I just started this record player thing that became my hobby. You know, I just got mine, and I got a Fela Kuti vinyl disc just to kickstart it. You know, I always play that once in
for sure
when I'm like reading, when I'm like trying to like get it downtown for myself and relax and come up with some creative design. I just play it and let it go slow and you know, with the volume low, you know, in the mid tempo, and just relax and enjoy my time. It's one of like, so you like me coming here and seeing you with a bunch of collections. I'm like, oh bro, like this is like a timing from God, man.
Well, with me learning how to produce music, one of the biggest things, testament to Kanye, is sampling. I love sampling.
Me too.
It's incredible how you can hear just a little snippet of a song, flip it. You can chop it, you can screw it, you can do so much with it to create a whole different sound.
Loop it.
Yeah. And then also, it's also paying your respect to the music that came forth, especially soul music, because that's like black music to a T. Like the reason why soul music is so good is because it's black culture. It's black culture speaking through the mic, speaking through vibrations, and it's always a blessing to hear. That's why I love this, because this is such a soothing body of work. It's about love. It's about coming together as oneness. Very spiritually centered. Love's Holiday is the best song on here. Do not argue with me. But I definitely recommend listening to Love's Holiday. By Earth, Wind, and Fire, classic joint. Shout out to my dad for getting me hip to that song, though. So, yeah. So those are our music choices. You have anything else to say? Yeah,
man. I wish I could pick more, but we'll do another one for another episode.
For sure.
Yeah, man. I love this album a lot. This is one of my favorite Kanye album. I love Donda, but I'll pick this over.
Yeah, Donda is great too.
I'll pick this over Donda, and. See, and one thing I love about this cover art, obviously the color, but the whole creative design. I think this was designed by Virgil. I can't remember. I think it's a Two-Step Fantasy.
Yeah, because this is 2004.
Yeah,
so
it's a Two-Step Fantasy that was designed by.
Okay.
Yeah, Virgil. But yeah, I loved the design. Look at like
Twisted Fantasy was Virgil.
The gold one, the gold cover.
Oh, that is Watch the Throne.
Yeah, Watch the Throne. Sorry, yeah, Watch the Throne. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Watch the Throne. Oh, Riccardo Tisci. It was an Italian designer.
Oh, really?
That one.
There was an album that was designed by Virgil. Just look at it. Look it up. Let's type in Kanye album cover design by Virgil. There should be one, I'm sure.
How you spell his name?
Virgil.
Okay, I was missing the R. Okay. Oh, okay. He was an artistic director, so I don't know if he created the.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he created the cover. Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't think he created the cover, but he was a creative director.
Okay. I know something like that was that. All right,
for sure.
Was tagging around it, yeah.
For sure, I didn't know that. That brings up a good point. So to tie in with the question, who or what has been your biggest source of inspiration for your creativity? Let's talk about Virgil, because I don't know. I wasn't really born into like the fashion industry. I grew up wearing nothing but Nike sports gear. So fashion is something recently I've been learning about and allowing myself to grow in. I've just been finding my taste fashion wise, which is still forming, still trying to figure it out. Don't get me wrong, but definitely having this gear now is definitely helping me figure that out too. I love earth tone colors though. That's the reason why I love the Easy design as well, because it's the earth tone.
Exactly. That's the style. That's,
for sure.
That's the template. That's the patone colors.
But how I know Virgil has a ginormous impact in Africa, because is he originally from there, correct?
Yes, Virgil Abloh is from Ghana.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So what was his impact to you? Because like he was one of the most prolific artists in like a generation, like with Off-White, what he did with Nike, what he did with Louis Vuitton, what he did with Kanye, and Pharrell, and just so many other people as well, like prolific. Like how does his creativity impact yours?
That's a good question. It's Virgil's story itself, coming from Africa, born and brought up in Chicago, and he started off with his own design, just coming up with Pyrex. That's his first ever clothing design.
Okay.
And then moved into joining Kanye to creative design his brand. That's I love Kanye and Pablo, all those kind of designs. He
yeah. Okay, that rollout was incredible,
bro. That was the beginning of when I fell in love with Virgil. Like, I found that creative freedom in him, where he was able to create nothing out of something, And his story inspires me a lot. And again, his skating story. He started off as a skateboarder, start painting on his friend's skateboard, doing stuff like that, and that story grew into him being into design and art, fashion, and things like that.
For sure.
It's one of the greatest inspiration for real. And Off-White is one of the brands that I really love a lot. And I see a lot of how simple it is. It's a statement. It's a statement piece. How simple the design and logo is also a statement piece, and that's what I'm trying to bring across to my brand. How simple the color is, how very relatable it is. You can be able to like connect with it because it's like a badge. It's like a symbol. The color is like a symbol that attracts everyone, like very warm, calm colors that attract everyone. Yeah. It's acceptable by everyone. It's lovely. It's embracing, So something like that. That's how I tie into it. It's one of my greatest inspiration when it comes to my brand.
That's awesome. I don't know too much about Virgil. I would love to learn more. So if you have any information or anything I should watch or read on pertaining to him, I would love it, because it's no doubt that he's one of the most prolific designers and creators in the past generation, especially in the past 10, 15 years. But to segue back to Kanye too, in terms of fashion, we talked about a little bit of music, but in terms of fashion, how did he inspire you? Because he was going up, like he was walking up a hill all the time against fashion industries with Nike, then Adidas, Louis Vuitton, and just all those designer brands as well. So what was his message to you in terms of creativity?
Kanye has always been this creative guy, and from the fact that he collaborated with a lot of designers and ended up having his own brand, and which competes with so many big brands in the industry. That's that ideology is what I'm trying to bring into myself. That my brand can also compete with big brands. My brand can also compete with the Nikes. I'm working towards it. Like that's not the goal, but I'm working towards that. I'm
For sure.
I'm trying my best to get there too. And
very ambitious, but very realistic.
Exactly.
Because Kanye showed that.
Exactly. And he's like a source of inspiration when it comes, especially with shoe collections, bro. That's something I vision myself into going into shoe collections someday in the future. And it's one of his pieces are things that I remember back home. I used to rock all the time. I wear it all the time, and it got to a point where it got bad that I had to give it to someone to help me fix it, just to keep me going.
Yeah.
So I would say, back home I used to wear it a lot, and that's the Yeezy 300. No, it's not a 300. I can't remember. Like maybe the Yeezy 250 or 200. I can't remember. Black one with the white stripe by the side. Kanye, man. Kanye has been a great inspiration, man, when it comes to fashion. And again, his music itself, everything just complement each other, because while listening to his music, I see the creative vision in him, especially when he came up with that I feel like Pablo album. Yeah. Oh my God, that's one of my favorite too.
You want to hear something? I did not appreciate that album when it first came out. I did not appreciate that album when it first came out. But as the years went on, as time went on, and I think when the album first came out, there were still
True.
things that were unfinished on it.
I began to pick up on that album a year after it dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now looking back on it, I'm like, dude, The Life of Pablo is a really good album. Like a really good album. It's not my favorite,
great,
but it's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, man. That's Kanye, man. I love his creative fashion. It's creative sense. I mean, when it comes to creativity, you have to be free to express yourself especially in fashion. You have to be free to express yourself creatively. Mm-hmm. So he has shown that multiple times, and man, there's so many great people out there too that I love, that inspires me. Not only Kanye, but Kanye is one of them.
I hear you for sure, and there's a reason with that. He's inspired so many people, regardless of what he said, his actions, or anything. He continues to inspire people from the legacy that he's left. Whether if what he does now, quote unquote, ruins that. I mean, that's up to him. But I don't think there's any ruin of his legacy and what he's already done, because he's already changed music, fashion, and so many other categories as well too, and just overall creativity. So, outside of Virgil, outside of Kanye, is there anybody else that truly inspires you?
Yeah, Skepta. Skepta,
the rapper,
British rapper. Yes, it's from my hometown, Ijebu-Ode, Lagos, Nigeria.
I didn't know that. I thought he was from the UK.
Yeah, he was from he's from Nigeria, but his parents moved to UK while he was young.
Got you. Okay, that makes sense.
And he actually went back home, and they gave him a chieftaincy. He became a chief in my hometown back home.
That's dope.
And that's one thing I always man, shout out to Skepta, man. Joseph Adenuga Skepta, one of my biggest inspiration, man. And
Wiz the Kid too as well. You used to post him a lot.
A lot.
And I'm sure you still post him.
Of course, he's one of my greatest inspiration. I always post him a lot. Everybody knows I love Skepta. Coming from my background, coming from my hometown, and making it back in UK as one of the biggest British rapper is one of my biggest inspiration. Coming I always tie down. I used to tie all his success story to my own story. As boy, he came he moved in while in a younger age, but from that he was still able to pursue his dreams, pursue his goals, and become one of the biggest rappers in Britain. Yeah, I see him as, and again, not just being a rapper, he has his own shoe collections from Nike.
Okay.
Yes.
Skepta?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, he has his own shoe collections.
Okay.
SK Air, that's the name.
SKA.
Yeah, SK Hair. Hair like HIR. SK.
SK Hey.
Yeah. No, you mean Jordan Hair?
Hair?
Jordan Hair. Yeah. Like
Okay.
SK Hair. Air Max, like Air Max. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
SK Air.
SK Air.
Yeah. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, even 6, 7 collections, man.
Okay. Some of these are kind of nice.
Yeah.
Man, they're going for a lot of money on
Yeah,
on,
because it's a limited piece.
StockX and everything.
Yeah.
Ooh, what are these?
Let me see.
What are these? Oh, they're a size 9. Oh.
I think I have like picture of everything on my phone.
Yeah, bro, I'm looking at them right now. I'm like, some of these are fire. Well, hold on. I'm glad. Whew. How much are they going for?
Yeah, but they're limited pieces, man.
How much are these
I make
going
sure I
for?
cop like
110? Oh man, that's a steal.
this
Are
is
these Skepta,
this is it right here. Look at it. Look at this picture.
Oh yeah, this is all his collaboration.
Yes.
Man, those blue and red joints right here.
Yeah, the butterfly.
I'm kind of a simple guy when it comes to my shoes. Like I try to be as simple. I used to be like really colorful and just like, and I don't mind going back to that sometime. But it was just kind of hard to match with that.
Yeah, man. I don't wear that all the time too.
Yeah, those are sick though.
Yeah,
those are sick.
I just have this as like my wall of fame, bro.
For sure.
Like shoe of fame, like.
You should send me that picture. I'm gonna try to put that on the. I'm trying to get a little more creative with my editing.
Put it on the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah,
For
man.
sure.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. That's Skepta, man.
No, that's dope. Are you thinking about wanting to make a shoe later on?
Of course, yes.
Hey.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Shoes has been one of the biggest accessory when it comes to fashion.
For sure.
Everybody wants to see what you are wearing, putting on your shoes. Yes,
Yeah.
they want to see the nice clothes. They see all the nice clothes all the time. They see all the beautiful designs all the time, but they want to see what's on your feet.
There's one of two things that I base my whole outfit on. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
It's my shoes or it's my hat if I'm wearing a hat.
Yep.
If I'm not wearing a hat, which 9 times out of 10 I'm not because I got good hair, you know. It's going to be based on my shoes.
Yeah, man. Shoes are like, I tell people I can pay my last penny to buy a shoe than buy a shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's my dad got me into it too as well. Like he grew up working at Finish Line, Champs.
Right.
So he had a ton of shoes from back when like shoes were only $60 to $90. Jordans were going for like $90, which man, if only Jordans were $90 today instead of $250. But it is what it is. I get it, capitalism and inflation. But yeah, no, it was just dope to see that fashion trend with shoes because that's what got me into fashion with shoes. It was just the shirts and the pants and everything I just didn't really care for. I wanted to be comfy growing up.
Right.
But now it's like I really want to pop out. I want to have I want to look the best I can look. I'm a big guy on suits. I like suits a lot. Like
I've seen a couple of pictures.
Yeah, I would love to have a suit collection for sure. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just like I love that. I love suits. And then streetwear, of course. So have that balance.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that's dope.
Yeah,
That's
man.
dope.
Appreciate.
I can't wait to see the greatness shoe.
Yeah, man, bro. I've been exploring. I've been experimenting. I've been working with one of a friend of mine doing some painting on Air Force.
Yeah.
Air Forces, Air Force Ones.
Those are the easiest ones to do too.
I've been doing some designs, trying to like, you know, come up with some few designs on Air Force Ones. But yeah, that's like I said, exploring, experimenting, and seeing how.
If I were to give you my Air Force Ones, would you mind experimenting on that?
Of course. Of
I
course.
can give you some ideas and concepts.
Of course. Yeah, I actually tell a story with the painting on it. I wanted to show you what story I told with it because I put some designs from back home.
Are you sending it to me or are you about to show me?
I wanted to show you a picture of it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's something I always try to like in every design I do. I try to like tell a story around it, like tell people.
As you should. Storytelling is an integral part in humanity, and through our creativity, whether if it's paintings, music, fashion, like we tell the story, and that's why I love your brand, because that just adds to the purpose.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things that I feel people could relate best with. Storytelling is something that's important, that's key. That I feel like no matter what you do, if you can be able to tell your story, people can relate with it. People can tell, like it sticks so strong in their heart that they can be able to relate with.
100%.
Yeah, I can't find the picture, but I'll send it to you later.
No, you're good. So I just have 2 questions left.
Yep.
So I wanted to speak more on like the fashion show and the fashion week. So what was your first fashion show? And like, yeah, let's start with that. What was your first fashion show?
Okay, thank you. So I mentioned that earlier, but I would like to rephrase my answers and tell it in a very understanding way. My first ever fashion show was LA Fashion Week. March 2022. March 22, 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, that was LA Fashion Week. I collaborated with a fashion production company called Revive Fashion Week, and so there's like a subsidiary under LA Fashion Week. Yeah, so yeah, that was my first ever experience when it comes to Fashion Week. I was able to showcase 10 looks with my models in LA, in a very big space, and a lot of media, a lot of people in attendance, and a lot of encouragement and support from friends and family. And yeah, it was one of my greatest experience when it comes to fashion that I've always tried to like evolve on, and I always try to portray, because it gives me that creative long run, because I know I'll be doing a fashion week. I'll be showcasing. This gives me opportunity to be able to showcase my best designs to the world, and it gives me time to be able to prepare, to be able to come up with a theme for my collection, and to be able to get the right model to fit on, to be able to also be able to like showcase that, do the promotion on social media, coming to also getting the space booked and things like that. Yeah. So those are the things that help me to shape myself as an entrepreneur, to be able to like, at the end of the day, being able to showcase my designs on the wrong way. And that's how big brands like Louis Vuitton and other brands like Off-White and things like that all started. They all started off with showcasing your brands, your design for each collections, like fall, summer, winter. There are always different periods where you can showcase your design.
Yeah.
So yeah, New York Fashion Week is always done twice a year. I attended New York Fashion Week. That was my me attending to learn.
Yes.
So I attended New York Fashion Week February this year, 8th of February to like 9 or 10, like 4 days. Yeah. So I attended as a first time designer to experience, to explore how things were going in Fashion Week in New York. But at the same time, I had a pop-up in New York during the Fashion Week. So that gives me, number one, exposure, and number two, that also gives me experience on seeing how things are going in America when it comes to Fashion Week and when it comes to fashion in general. So that was the first one that I ever attended as a first-time designer, but not showcasing.
Yeah.
But showcasing, that was a month later. That was in March in LA. So yeah, those are the two biggest experience that I will ever owe to my heart, because it builds me to be able to come up with industry-based design, like keeping up with the trends and making sure I come up with good materials. That really tests my fashion sense, thoroughly test my knowledge when it comes to couture, when it comes to clothing pieces, things like that. When it comes to makeup, the right makeup and the right model, when it comes to the right design and the right person, things like that. Sizing, posture, things like that really, really helped me to shape me to become a better designer.
For sure. That's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, that's such a dope experience to be a part of. I'm sure that more is on the horizon, and I'm sure that you correct me if I'm wrong. Paris is like the next goal for you, for sure. Is there anywhere else besides Paris that you would like to experience on like Fashion Week or do a fashion run?
Yeah, there are many big fashion. I wanted to show you like videos from the Fashion Week.
I just went through your
the magazine page. Have you checked the magazine page?
The magazine.
This is just me documenting Fashion Weeks in LA and New York.
That's dope. And I'm gonna put all your social in the description too, so people can find you and know how to contact you.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Yeah, bro. This is crazy.
Yeah, man. So I learned from all these designers. I try to learn from them, get enough connection, get a lot of insights, get a lot of ideas from them, and that has really helped me and shaped me into building my own fashion brand and doing my own fashion, like participating in Fashion Weeks.
What would you say is the biggest lesson? Thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you. What would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned from Fashion Week, participating in Fashion Weeks?
One thing I learned is nothing ever goes as planned as you think.
Yeah, that's life.
Because man, there are so many last minute things that could go wrong, like some materials cutting off in the middle of you dressing up a model. You can't do nothing about it. You just have to plan for plan B, plan for plan B, plan C, and things like that. So always have a plan after a plan behind you before you go for Fashion Week. So one of the things I've learned is always have a backup plan on anything you do, because at the last minute, some things might mess you up, and that could have ruined your wrong way showcasing, things like that. And yeah, for real, man. Another thing again, also be prepared. Like know your audience, know the environments who you are trying to showcase for, and also know the theme. Like you are going for your fall Fashion Week, you should always make sure that your designs are fall related, something that people can wear during the fall and winter. You can't just because there's some Fashion Week in summer too. You can't showcase what you can wear during fall during summer. So you have to be able to understand the weather related type of designs you want to put on your runway when it comes to different type of seasons, and just be prepared. Get your team ready, get your models ready. Even if you are well prepared, just prepare for some plan B, so you get ready for so you won't be left out. You won't be left in the loop when the mistake or fuck ups happen. For sure. It's always be on your toes.
Exactly. Yeah, I can imagine. I can't even imagine actually how organized you have to be for that fashion show, and how just diligent and how particular and attention to detail you have to participate in something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like, bro,
and even from the preparation, from model casting, you see me that day.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I have to make sure everything is intact, because the model casting gives me the opportunity to get the right size, meet my people, meet my models, and also be prepared mentally, and also vision how you want your runway to be, how you want your showcasing to be, all your designs to be on that day. So yeah, man, I'm like 60% prepared, but I know I still got a lot of things to do. But yeah, man, excited to be there. By the way, I'm also like, my sister is into fashion, so we work together.
That's
You'll
dope.
be meeting my sister on that day. Yeah.
That's
We're
dope.
into fashion. She does fashion too. So yeah, I'm always excited because I'll be able to like walk around my family around this, and everything has just been family based, man. Do you remember I work with my uncle too?
Yeah, for sure. I love how you stay close with your family. I try to do the same thing because it's super important. I think the family element, the nuclear family, especially here in America, is kind of be under attack. A lot of people don't want kids anymore, which, I mean, I get it. That's your decision. But I do believe that the value that follows with family, especially in Black communities, have been attacked, have not been earned the respect that it deserves, and also the appreciation, the importance that it deserves as well. So it's great, once again, like I brought up earlier, that you have that family unit and that you have that support and that togetherness within that family unit, because that can go such a long way, because there's so many people in this world that do not have that family element at all.
It's number one to me, man.
For sure. For sure. God gave it to us for a reason, and we have to cherish.
God,
yeah. But man, I enjoyed talking to you, man. I want to wrap it up here. Is there anything, first of all, how can we reach you? How can we stay in tune with what you're creating, with your new collections, social media, your website, all of that? I'll put that in the description, but just for you to say it.
Yes. Yeah, you can reach me. You can firstly follow my brand, greatness.shop on Instagram. We have our fashion agency page called greatness.magazine. And me personally, Jide Bash, you can follow me on Instagram, Jide Bash, JIDEYBASH. That's my first name and last name, Jide Bash. Yeah, our website, greatness-shop.com. That's the hyphen, greatness-shop.com. Yes, then you can, we have some beautiful pieces on our website. We have all that, different sizes, different colors, but most especially our earth tone colors is the most selling part on our website. And take a look at it. By the way, I also have a Fela Kuti shirt too. I designed a Fela Kuti shirt.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I love music, so I just had to put some music elements on my design. For sure. Of course, I have so many music elements coming too, but I'm
gonna have to look more into that for sure.
Yeah, man.
So, any last words, Al? Any words of encouragement to fellow creators? Any youth out there that wants to get into creativity, especially fashion as well? Any words of encouragement? Any words of wisdom at all? Any advice?
Yeah, man. For everyone out there trying to find who you are, I would say first thing is find who you are, and also find the greatness in you. We all have that greatness in us, and we have to find that touch and light it out to the world and make a great impact to the world.
100%. And that's why that's what I try to do with Mine is Mine. So you know how it is. You know what we do at the end of every podcast. Just a reminder of what I do. Here at Mine is Mine, I strive to be the best vessel that I can be in terms of transcending consciousness, speaking about the importance of creativity, discipline, and overall spirituality as well, and kind of just release any type of stigma and make it the norm again, like we've talked about too as well. But Mine is Mine seeks to be the best vessel that I can be in terms of enhancing consciousness, transcending consciousness, and bringing God consciousness back to the forefront. Whether if that's through the mediums of creativity, through literature, through knowledge, wisdom, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, I want to continue to give the community the voice. I want to continue to share stories with the community of spiritual means, creative means, and overall just give them a platform. So once again, I appreciate you guys listening for this whole ride. JB, Houston, Mine is Mine podcast, episode 12. We out of here.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for staying after the YouTube video. Be sure to like, comment. It's important to share your voice. and subscribe to my channel. There should be a video on the screen. If not, then there's something wrong. But follow me on social media, Instagram, X, whatever it may be. Also, check out my blog in the description box below. Other than that, my name is Houston. I hope you have a great day. Namaste.